Today marks the 30th anniversary of King of Fighters fighting series, and wow, I have so many great memories of this series of games that really impacted the arcade scene and really changed the fighting genre forever. And so I'm not the fighting game expert, but I have a lot of happy memories. I like playing King of Fighters games, and I know in the comments you're going to tell me your memories and your favorite King of Fighters game or series or top three. I just wanted to honor this great fighting series, and I can't believe it's 30 years marking today. So I have lots of happy memories. I'm just blown away on how old I feel after realizing that this is 30 years old, this series. And so first and foremost, to me, King of Fighters is really the heart of Neo Geo fighting games. There's many other fighting games that are awesome on the Neo Geo arcade or home console unit. But, you know, for me, King of Fighters is kind of my go-to. I have fond memories of playing the original on a candy cab, and here's the home version of it. And you know what? It's came a long way since then, but I have fond memories of cutting my teeth on that 3 versus 3 and really kind of changed the arcade scene. And what I really liked about it is I felt no matter how good you were at playing this series, you could last a long time on a quarter typically. I felt like at the time it was just was a great value for arcade games that were increasing in price in my area. And so my local college had, I think, either 94 or 95. I vaguely remember as, you know, mid-90s, I was a freshman in college, and I remember that was my first experience with King of Fighters was at my college. And so really happy to get exposed to it and really got to play some amazing rounds. I never was great at it, but I really love the characters it introduced, the costumes, the settings, and the wide variety of rosters. Well, it evolved quite a bit over time, and I know a lot of people are going to have their favorite of the series. Now, 98 comes up for like classic King of Fighters games. King of Fighters 98 really was the balance of a great roster with awesome gameplay, and really just the animation and graphics. You know, Neo Geo was just the king of making fighting games, and you know, it made sense that they would just make one of the ultimate fighting game series and put all their characters that they own into a collection, and it was fantastic. And so there's so many rosters, different characters. Terry's one of my favorite. Ralph is another one that I like to play from King of Fighters. And anyways, it evolved, and believe it or not, the Neo Geo hardware had the first 10 games, King of Fighters 94 to 2003. That is insane that it had that many, to 2003 when SNK Playmore took over. Here's the original kit for the MVS, and really excited. I've had this many years. Comes with all the goodies with it, original bag and all that. But yeah, you know, King of Fighters was just really for many the 2D game to go to on Neo Geo. And you know what, it was something that I have so many fond memories of going to arcades and checking it out and experiencing, you know, different ones. But typically, if you saw a candy cab or a 4-slot or something, one of them had a King of Fighters game in it. And definitely in the comments below, let me know which ones did you have in your area and you played in the arcades. But fantastic. And you know, as the time went on, the games got more complex. For better or worse. I know the late series, King of Fighters 2002, 2003, were pretty popular. Definitely, and a lot of these are available on modern platforms. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a bit. So yes, as it moved on, but it wasn't just for Neo Geo hardware. You know, as time went on, you know, King of Fighters was very popular, and it became available on more modern platforms and even portable systems. Heck, there was even a Game Boy one, King of Fighters 95. Not bad for like a remake or a different version of it. You know, for me, I even love playing King of Fighters R2. There was one for Neo Geo Pocket and a few for Neo Geo Pocket Color. We got this one Pocket Color in the States, and here's the US version. For me, King of Fighters was lots of different things, and I experienced many different versions of this series over time. I even EX2 comes to mind for Game Boy Advance. There was EX1 and 2, and those were fantastic for Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Advance, by the way, was so capable. It was really amazing to see so many fighting games actually on that platform, and EX2 was a pretty good one. And you know, for many people, it's going to be the arcade experience or Neo Geo hardware. But as time went on, you know, it kind of evolved, and that hardware is hard to get, or people experienced it on more popular platforms. A couple different things. Dreamcast comes to mind. Dreamcast in the States, which, by the way, the Dreamcast is 25 years old. You had the Dream Match 1999, as well as you had King of Fighters Evolution. And you know what? You might have grew up playing those. Definitely in the comments below. Did you play these on Dreamcast? Remember that? But Dreamcast, you know, still wasn't super mainstream. You know, it really wasn't until like PlayStation 2. But PlayStation 2 had multiple different collections and games on its platform, and many people grew up with that. So they released these weird 2-packs, which are like combining some of the later King of Fighters games. This one was 2002, 2003, and then had 2000, 2001. So those are good. Those are some of the more popular King of Fighters games. But then they took 98, and then they had the Ultimate Match. It had a game dedicated to that with some extra features in it. But then this one's pretty popular. This is the Orochi Saga. So this is King of Fighters 94 through 98. And with some extra modes and stuff. Really cool to see that. But then you had King of Fighters 11. One thing I actually forgot about and recently revisited is that King of Fighters Neo Wave, which was an original Xbox game, you can actually take this disc and play it on an Xbox Series X. I love that feature. I know not many people utilize that feature, but it was so cool that Xbox did that, where you can take original disc and pop it into a Series X. Yes, this game is fully backwards compatible. Not only that, you can play this on your Series X, so that was pretty awesome. And a cool fighting game. This was not on Neo Geo hardware originally. I think it was on the Thomas Wave. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but anyways, cool version. Really cool that that was available on the original Xbox, and you can play it on the Series X. The other one that I had installed a long time ago was 13. And looking up on some comments online, 13 seems to be a very popular version of King of Fighters. And going back and playing it, oh yeah, it's really well animated. Great graphics. I love that 2D look too. I'm more of a 2D fan for King of Fighters. I'm old school and love those games the most. But you know, I grew up with a lot of 2D fighting games. I'm not against 3D fighting games, but I had so much experience with 2D fighting games that's my preference. But you know, the series has evolved, and you know, 15 came out a couple years ago and seems to be very popular on all modern platforms. Steam, well, on most major platforms. Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox come to mind. You know what, and it's got some amazing graphics. I haven't had a lot of experience with it. To me, the King of Fighters games are always going to be kind of more 2D and some of the more classic Neo Geo ones, but I know many of them are available on Switch, so you can go and check out these arcade games on the Switch, Steam, Xbox, or PlayStation. And so it's crazy to think how this series has evolved over time, and I just think it's fantastic. I just had to do a video about it because, you know, to me, King of Fighters is many different things. It's a lot of great positive experiences, playing an amazing fighting game with friends or competitively in the arcades where I got usually completely destroyed. But I enjoyed playing it, and I know for many people out there, you have experience with at least playing one of these. The series has been around 30 years. Many different versions: PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, classic Neo Geo hardware, home and arcade, Neo Geo CD, even Sega Saturn. I want to mention that King of Fighters was on several different platforms as it evolved and offered more opportunities for people around the world. So, you know, it's also cool that the company itself is honoring this. They have a new website where you can check out, and they're going to be offering different wallpapers and screens for mobile phones, as well as information about the King of Fighters series. And you can check out the website. The link will be below, where they're going to continue to honor their legacy and offer some cool things. I'm really excited to see that. So I just wanted to just celebrate King of Fighters series, and want to thank everybody for viewing this. I don't do a lot of Neo Geo videos. I thought this was a great opportunity to honor this great series, and thank you so much for viewing this video. If you like what you see, consider hitting that like and subscribe button and clicking the bell, as I'm uploading videos every week. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. Let's keep it positive. This is the Immortal John Hancock, and you take care.